700 comics and didn't get one date. Let's welcome Linda Marcus Smith.
Well, what do I do now? Well. So, my name is Linda Marcus Smith. 3 names. It's like my marriage. Just reminded me of my marriage. Okay. I go by 3 names, not because I'm a diva. I go by 3 names because, look at me, I'm old. I go by 3 names because I'm still mad about John Wilkes Booth. 160 years. I've been carrying that grudge. Feels so good to get it out. Yeah, he makes me mad because he was an actor in the theater that day that he shot President Lincoln. And as an actor, he got famous with 1 headshot. Blows my mind apart too. I know you think I'm a New Yorker. I get it all the time, but I'm not. I come from the Upper West Side, though, of the map. Oregon. Anybody? You're from Oregon, right?
Nah, but I live there.
Yeah, from the Northwest for a while.
Yeah.
Awesome, Rachel, thank you. Yeah, I come from a little town in Oregon. You've never heard of it in the news or nothing. Portland? Yeah, my town's a punchline. You know, I was famous there, very famous for one thing. I was like a personal shopper. You know what that is? Oh wait, it was a personal shoplifter. Yeah, that's what it was. I get those still confused when I'm broke. Okay. I did take it very personal though. I gotta tell you, I'm a boomer, so I'm gonna brag. I hate to brag, but I'm a boomer. In my day, I almost turned a 5 and dime drugstore. I know you don't know what a 5 and dime is, but I almost turned a 5 and dime drugstore into nonprofit status. 1 tube of lipstick at a time. Yeah. I nickel and dimed a 5 and dime. Yeah. It's wrong to shoplift. I figured that out 6 years later. I did it for a while, I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, I went back to Fred Meyer's store. My coach said, nobody cares about Fred Meyer, say Target. So I went back to Target, and I said, I'm so sorry, it's wrong to shoplift. What can I do to pay you back? They said, just don't ever come back, then we'll call it even. So now, I didn't ever go back. But they must have forgot because there's this thing, I don't know if you've heard of it, called emails. I get emails from Fred Meyer's store / Target all the time. And they want me to come back in and save 50% on the lipstick I still know how to get for free. And they call them digital coupons? Oh, please. These are my digits. I have 10 of them, and they always got me 100% off, 100% of the time. Thank you. Yeah, so I came from Portland, Oregon, and when I left there 5 years ago, I went to go live in Vegas. And when I left, the mayor there was so glad I was leaving. He said I was like the best export. Like, that's going to make me leave faster. That's going to make me want to stay. He said, you were the best thing that ever left here. Hadn't left yet. Do you know what I had to do to Tanya Harding to get that title? I had to club her. Yeah. I had to beat out Sasquatch and all them noble people like Paul Bunyan. Yeah, none of you care. It's like talking about Staten Island. It gets very static, very fast, talking about my hometown. But when I left Oregon 5 years ago, because like who wouldn't want to live there? Who wouldn't want to leave there? I went to live in a place nobody's ever heard of, Las Vegas. Yeah, well, jackets like yours are a real thing there. It's a great place to go if you like sin. It's called Sin City. And the tourists are kind of weird, you know, like there's two of them, just like these microphones. So the women go to Las Vegas because they like the loose slots. Guess what the men go for? The loose sluts. Yeah, that's true. It's a true fact. I'm older and I like attention. Can you tell? So I found a way to get attention in Las Vegas. I was at the bus stop and there was this little old sad lady standing there. She's about this big. And she was sad. And I've got the antidote for sadness, don't I? Comedy. So I said, "You look sad. Would you like to hear a joke?" And she said, "Uh-huh. Blah, blah, punchline." And she said, "Keep your day job." I know. People can be so cruel. I hadn't had a day job in decades. So I went and got me a day job. I became a Las Vegas streetwalker. Do you believe it? With a Fitbit, you dirty people, you dirty minds. But I like attention, so I would walk up and down the Las Vegas Strip in a prom gown. I love wearing prom gowns. Anybody else? Fine. I love wearing them because men, older men, will turn around and look at me in a prom gown, and they'll ignore me if I'm not in one. So I don't want to be invisible, so I wear prom gowns. And I would walk up and down the Las Vegas Strip, and I would count the honks. I know. I would count the honks. And if they honked, I was like, "You better be honking at me. Do you know how long it took me to look this damn good?" Yeah, I'll jump on the hood of your car if you're going to ignore me. Don't even try it. But in Las Vegas during the pandemic, they did something really weird. They took out all the palm trees out of the median. All of them. And there were no tourists there. I don't know if you know this, but the tourists keep Las Vegas safe because, you know, numbers of people. And when the tourists are gone, then the tweakers, the people that are out there on drugs, just took over the city. So one day, there's no palm trees, so I'm walking in the median because I don't want to be on any sidewalk. And a cop stopped me, as they do. And he said, "What are you doing in the middle of the median?" And I said, "Well, there's tweakers to the left of me and tweakers to the right, and I'm stuck in the middle with you, sir." It's a song. Okay, fine. Maybe I have to hum it. But I moved to New York January 2nd. Yep. I moved here lock, stock, and barrel. Thank you. I gave all my belongings to my favorite waitress. I couldn't wait to get here. And when I got here, I don't know if you know about this phenomenon in New York City. It's called the Empire State Building. Have you heard of this thing? I love tall, erect things. I do. It was so beautiful, and Trump didn't build it. Oh, can't go political. My bad. I love the building. You know, it's very beautiful. And I stood in front of it, worshiping it like you do. And it started singing to me. You know, it said, "If you can make it here, you'll make it." And that song. And then I heard a voice. Not one in my head. Those I won't talk about. I heard a voice coming out of the building. "Get on the bike lane, you crazy bitch." Yeah. So I needed a shrink. Where else are you going to find a really good shrink? New York City. So I went to a shrink. And I told her how I had been stunned and I have PTSD that's been triggered from the building. And every time I told her a different symptom I had, like, I can't sleep. I don't feel well. I have nausea. Anything I told her, every single time I told her something, she said she had that too. If I wanted to have my identity stolen, I could have stayed in meth-filled Oregon. Didn't need that in New York. So, you know, I thought, well, if you're going to take my symptoms and my identity, I'm taking your husband. Fair trade. That's what I call fair trade. Okay, you don't believe that? It's just a joke. I wouldn't do it. I'm from Oregon. We're passive aggressive. I would go train my neighbor to take her husband. That's what we do the best. Yeah. I know that you're going to find this hard to believe, but it's really hard getting older. Because I'm so freaking hot, right? Everybody's so hot, I can't believe it because I was a plain Jane. Do you know what I had to do to get attention? I had to join the military to get anybody to look at me. I went to the post. Does anybody remember? Do you know what a post office is? It's not really a thing anymore. But in my day, in 1973, I went to the post office. And I saw a poster. And it said it wanted me. And I'm like, wow, a man wants me. Holy Toledo. I wasn't taught to say no to a man. Are you kidding me? I'm a boomer. So I joined the military. I was like, yes, sir. How fast can I sign up? And where would you like to send me? Germany. I'm half Jewish. Should have checked my record. They sent me to Germany, a post over in Germany. I was one woman, the only woman with 2,000 men. Yeah, for 3 years. Well, 6 months later, some women started, but not very many. Anyway, I was really bad at math, you guys. Not meth, that's Oregon, but I was bad at math. And it was like, how many, it's a good thing I joined for 3 years. Because I was like, how many times a day are they, the men, going to keep trying to shove 2,000 of them into one of me? And the answer is about 2,000 times a day. But my comedy coach said 17's funnier. So 17 it is. Yeah. So because I'm so popular with men, because I'm so hot, when I went in the military, growing up, nobody noticed me. So I was a plain Jane. Then to go in the military, I become like a G.I. Jane. And then go over to Germany, one woman, 2,000 men. I'm like Gina, Lola, Brigida. They got it. Take out Gina, throw in any Kardashian. It's the same joke. Yeah, so I tried dating, but I have a little bit of a brain injury from getting hit by a drunk driver, so bottoms up. I got hit in 1996 by a drunk driver, and I forget things. And so when I went online to sign up and see who was interested in me, I get, I can't remember who has a fish, and who has a dog, and who has a boat, who has a motorcycle. I can't keep it straight. So I just you know what, I'm good. If God wants me to date, he can send somebody to my door. That's where I'm at with dating. But I do like getting in trouble because I have a little bit of spunk. Still, nobody's knocked it out of me yet. I love messing with people. So I like going to different businesses and just trying to stir things up with them. Have you ever done this? It's a great sport. It's really fun. I mean, why should I just shrivel up and die as an old lady? I'm not gonna. I'm gonna kick around until the last breath. And so I went to a barber shop and I thought, what can I do here? So I walked in and I said, and she'll tell you, Helene will tell you, I really did this. I went in and I said, hey, do you guys in the barber shop here, do you do women? Oh. And I'm not really welcome back to that barber shop, but there's plenty more around. I went to a nail salon and I said, can I get a pedophile? I want a pedophile. How much is a pedophile? Give me pedophile. Pick a color. No. So I also, I love messing around, and so I go to the bank. And every time I go to the bank, they're telling me to shove it in, pull it out, shove it in again. I'm like, you just triggered me back to a really bad old marriage in 1981. Stop it. Okay, fine. But I know you're going to find this hard to believe. I just had a birthday. Mm-hmm. March 19th, and it's coming around again, folks. It's like a train. And I have a twin brother, and we're both celebrating. And I get to be with him in Portland, Oregon tomorrow. So we're going to celebrate our birthday together. I had a birthday, and I turned 21. times 3. You like math? 21 times 3 plus none of your business. Yeah, I had a birthday. And, it's just, I don't know how to say this, but I started comedy very young in life is the point, at age 63. And that was 11 years ago, so time's ticking. That's why I like having fun at the barber shop and other places. But I started comedy very young in life, and none of the comedians in my hometown of Portland wanted anything to do with the little old lady telling jokes. Can you believe that? Well, I'm a boomer. I don't know if you can tell that I like causing trouble. I like stirring stuff up. So they're going to ignore me? They can't even ignore me in Las Vegas. I mean, please. So I got down on the ground and I started trying to find a way to get these young guys to pay attention to me. So I started doing sit-ups. And, like him trying to ignore me, I'm just going to keep doing sit-ups till he looks at me. And I'm doing these sit-ups through my entire set. Pretty soon, these young guys, I can do this all day long. Because I was in the military. It's like a presidential fitness program. Okay, so I'm doing these sit-ups, not breaking a sweat. And they started coming back in, noticing me. It worked. And they started filming me. This was filming in Portland, Oregon. 1951. Okay. And the video went viral, and that's why you guys get to hear me here tonight, because of my haters. Give it up for my haters. Thank you. Did you know that if you have haters and you just mind your own business and you just keep trying harder, your haters elevate your game. So let's bring on some more haters. I love it. And I get compliments as an older person, and they get strange. I'm addicted to coffee. I know, I have a vice. Has a grip on me. And I go in for coffee, and this barista said to me one day, he said, "You look so good for your age." Ladies, identify, I can hear that. "Well, you look great for a dropout from the hair club for men." I can say it to you because you got a full head of hair. Yeah. Another time I went in for coffee and he tells me I look like I'm aging backwards. Oh, great. I always wanted to identify with Benjamin Button. Not a compliment. But on a rainy, windy day in my hometown of Portland, Oregon, which is a Tuesday, I go in for coffee. And he says to me, "Linda, you look just like Marilyn." I'm like, wow, I loved her in Some Like It Hot. He said, "No, Manson. Marilyn Manson." I don't think I look like Marilyn. I think I look like if Marilyn had had a sister. She didn't. But if she had a sister and the sister had to pop out of a cake, and you know what, Ted Kennedy. Fuck. Okay. This is a picture of Marilyn when she was hot and Marilyn when she's 74. So I think I'm winning at that game. But I had one other thing to share with you before I leave. I had a comedy club, the biggest one in my hometown. It rhymes with Schmelium. They told me I have so much potential, but I'll never get booked because I have nothing in common with the young people. What do you say to that? You're a young person. I say it's BS. No. Anyway, so they said I couldn't get booked because I couldn't relate to young people. So I did what the young people do. I Googled that. I typed in the computer, what do the old have in common with the young? And then I had to back out of a pedophile page. Go back in, and I came up with a long list of everything we all have in common. It's blank right now because I lost the original, but I'm really secure that no young comic's gonna find it because I wrote the original in cursive. That's my time. I'm Linda Marcus.
Thank you, Linda Marcus Smith. So that's our future, folks. Okay. Now, By the way, there will be a hat going